everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm sorry I didn't upload yesterday as part of Vlogmas because, well, I was going to film a kind of vlog about we went to see Mastodon last night in Glasgow, but my camera ran out and it was a really stressful evening. The concert was amazing, Mastodon were amazing, Red Fang were amazing, we'd missed Russian Circle, but they were so good. And I had this whole vlog of us travelling there, the concert, my thoughts and opinions on it, and it didn't happen. So apologies if you were expecting a video yesterday for Vlogmas Day 7, it just didn't happen and I didn't have any other footage to put up in place of that. But anyway, I decided to film kind of a feminist gift guide-ish. These are gifts that we personally have bought Ivy Rose for Christmas this year. I also have like a lot more books and toys that would fall under this category. If that's something you'd like me to film, stuff that she already owns that kind of falls into this category, let me know down below, because I can easily film that with Ivy Rose, because obviously that's things she knows she already has and owns. These are all Christmas gifts that we've picked up. So I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4 things to kind of talk about. Yes, and one of them I went on an absolute mission to find. Has been an absolute mission. I finally picked it up today. I'll talk about it in a minute, which I've been so excited about. Probably, if you're watching this, you probably already know about this toy, but Toys R Us didn't have it near us yesterday, even though online they said they had it. And then went into Smyths today, couldn't find it in the actual aisle you would think it would be. Ended up finding it in the kind of girl aisle, and it was on a bottom shelf in a corner, and I'm really lucky we found it. And literally the second I actually screamed, I was like, oh my god, it's there! Grant was like, oh thank god you just saw that, because he was literally about to hit order now on like the company's website, and then we'd have had to pay like an extra like $5 or something in shipping, and I just can't be asked paying the shipping. But it really bugged me that I asked the guy in store if they had it, and he just looked at me like, what, no, why would we even have that? I've never even heard of that. And it kind of bugged me because I was like, really, there's been like so much media attention around this particular toy. And then to then find it not in the aisle where you would expect to find it, but it was in the girl aisle. But I was like, it's not specifically just for girls. Feminism's not just for girls. Why can't this be with the other stuff? And why is it in the bottom underneath all this pink Barbie stuff, which I love Barbie and I love all the other stuff, but it just irked me. And in the other shop didn't even have it. They never had it in their store to begin with. And then even the guy at the till, when we were buying it, he was looking at it like, what is this? What? Ooh. And it just kind of irked me, that it made me go, this is why this stuff's important. So I was actually going to turn the camera around and not have it on my face and just focus on the products, but because I have no makeup on, and usually I don't film without makeup, but then I'm like, as that Ned Flanders meme says, if you can't handle me at my doodliest, you don't deserve me at my diddliest, or whatever way around that is. Anyway, this is a bit of a long-winded 4-minute introduction, but I kind of needed to rant about this because, you know, it just kind of bugged me that there's been so much media attention and hype over this toy, but when you actually go into the real world to find it, people don't seem to know it exists. Big toy chains don't even stock it. or they do online, which is like, okay, that's fine, but then that costs more money. It's like, well, actually, maybe I want the experience. I want to just go into a store, pick it up, and it just like exposes it to people who wouldn't typically maybe go online or use Facebook. It's a bit of a rant. Anyway, hello, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Tash McZombie. As you can tell, I am very passionate about feminism and encouraging feminism among our children. I have an 8-year-old child called Ivy Rose, who is a very pro-feminism, little pro-everything, amazing child. Every parent says that, but she is. Yes, so today I'm doing a kind of feminist geared Christmas gifts that we have bought her this year. So I have toys and books that I think are absolutely awesome and kind of talk through them. If you're new here, hi. Welcome, I would say excuse the rambly intro, but that I seem to do rambly intros all the time. I just sit down and begin to talk. So welcome. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button down below. I would love to have you here on my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And as I said, if you would like to see more kind of book and toy recommendations that at least I personally feel fall within the kind of feminist category, comment down below, because I will do that video with Ivy Rose and then you can kind of get more of a child's perspective on it as well. So the product that I just spent forever talking about, of course, is the Lego Woman of NASA. So it cost $19.99. We got it in Smyths, and I think that's how much it goes for on the Lego website and Toys R Us. I'll just take the sticker off so you can see. So it is absolutely awesome. So obviously it comes with the 3 kits and the 4 women. So we've got Nancy Grace Roman, Margaret Hamilton, Sally Ride, and Mae Jemison. And on the back here you have photographs of each of the women next to their little, sorry, the light's kind of glaring, Lego figures, along obviously with the instructions of how it all goes together. So this is from the Legos Idea range, and I think this is absolutely amazing. And this, again, as I said, this is such an important toy that has came out this year. I know Lego has come under a lot of stick over the past couple of years of really gendering their sets. I mean, Ivy loves Lego Friends, Lego Elves, you know, Disney Lego. We have nothing wrong with buying her that. She has a Lego Friends calendar. You know, she loves watching the little cartoons on Netflix. But at the same token, she loves Bionicle, Ninjago, Lego Batman, general Lego, you know. So I mean, it is really, but I mean, aside from that, it is really important because, you know, women aren't celebrated enough, especially in the field of science and space. And moving on to the next toy, sci-fi. So, I mean, again, this cost $19.99, so £20, and I'll just show you all. So here are our 4 wonderful women of space here, and it also comes with a helmet, which is, yes, so it is to scale. Yes, and yes, as I said, obviously it comes with pictures of all the women and their names, so you could easily look them up and see obviously all their little Lego representations, which I think is absolutely amazing. And also it comes with all the years that they worked within NASA as well. So I think this is an absolute fantastic toy, which I have been on an absolute mission to find, because where we live we don't have a Lego store, and I know a lot of other mums and parents I talk to who have got this for their kids as well. We're like, oh, I just got in a Lego store, and I was like, we don't have a Lego store here, unfortunately. So did find this. As I said, if you are based out in Edinburgh, it is in Smyths, in the Barbie aisle, where the Lego Elves and Lego Friends Lego sets are. Right on the bottom shelf, right in the corner is where you will find this, which is an issue. But anyway, okay, moving on, because I kind of rambled for 10 minutes just about Lego, which, hey-ho. So the next thing we got her a pop figure, and we got her a Star Wars Jyn Urso pop figure. So this is Jyn Urso from Rogue One. I got this in game. It was reduced to £5, but full price it was £9.99. So Ivy Rose is a huge Star Wars fan. We have quite a few Star Wars pop figures. We've got a Kylo Ren, we have a BB-8, we have a Poe Dameron, and we have a Princess Leia. So Ivy Rose is very passionate about women being fighters, and obviously female representation within the media and sci-fi, and all her favourite characters apart from R2-D2 and BB-8 are the females, and Jyn Urso is an absolute kick-ass who I feel doesn't really... Rogue One didn't get as much attention as I loved Rogue One, and I love obviously Daisy, who plays... Oh my god, why is her name just left me? Ray. That's terrible. I totally forgot her name. So yes, Ivy made a point the other day, actually. She was watching something, I don't know what it was, and basically it was a typical story, boy saves girl. And she got really annoyed, being like, well, why can't the girl fight? Why can't girls can learn karate, girls can fight? And she's been pointing out in all these TV shows and films that she loves and watches that she's so sick of girls being saved by boys. So I know that she absolutely loves Jyn Urso. And we collect pop figures. We have like a shelf. We don't have too many. We have like a shelf in our living room. It may have been featured in the background of some of my videos, where we have all our pop figures, and she's going to go along with all the other awesome Star Wars figures. And this is the back. So obviously it shows you all the different characters in this set. And then it's got her there on this side. And then again here, it's like clear, but we've got her face and her name. And then again on the top. So that's her. And then we got her the Amazing Women in Science book. So this is it here. So she already owns the Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls book, which is absolutely amazing. We need to get number 2 when it comes out, if it's not already out. And I know there's another one, the Fantastic Women of Space book, which will probably get her maybe for her birthday next year. So this claims, it says it's the 50 fearless pioneers who changed the world, written and illustrated by Rachel Otovsky. I probably absolutely butchered it, but the illustration is beautiful. And then obviously on the back here we've got this really powerful message. And then I got this in the Edinburgh bookstore, and then inside again we have this beautiful science kind of illustration. And then the way it is laid out inside is quite similar to the Goodnight Rebel Girls, that we have like a beautiful illustration of the woman and then all the facts and everything that she did on the other side. So Ivy Rose, she wants to be a scientist when she grows up. She is living up to her namesake and wants to be a real life poison ivy. She wants to be a botanist, and she's on the eco committee of her school. And the school that she goes to is linked with a science centre that's nearby us. And they have like a lab. I mean, as I said, she's only in primary 4, and she does like lab work. They were extracting DNA from strawberries. They have female scientists coming and talking to them. In fact, she met a few female scientists at her old school, and she spoke with them. And they were so encouraging, being like, you know, we need more female scientists, you know, don't give up, like, you know, we need kids like you. I'll just show a couple more, just so you can see the illustration style, you know, and it really encouraged her, because they were like, well, we need more kids like you to be interested in science and not giving up. And this book cost, this was $12.99, just in case you're wondering. You know, and it really encouraged her, and this is something she's been passionate about for quite a few years now. She's so determined. She wants to save the world. She wants to be on an eco committee for the rest of her life. She wants to be a botanist. She wants to discover new species of bugs. She wants to help the planet. And I think that's absolutely fantastic that that's what she wants to do. You know, myself and Grant, we are not science inclined. We're both writers and artists, and, you know, but that doesn't mean we're never going to stop encouraging her and doing everything that we can for her to pursue a life of science. You know, we always get her a science kit every year, so we got her the rocks and minerals set this year, which kind of, you know, falls into her thing. But I know my mum's got her science kits this year, so I mean, like, even our family are really on board. Like, my best friend, her girlfriend is studying science at university, and they get her science kits every year. My sister is a scientist, like, she works for a science department, got her like a microscope. So I mean, you know, she's so many science kits. She has a lab coat with her name embroidered on it, you know. And these are things that are so important, you know. Like, no matter what your kid wants to do. As I said, I know nothing about science. And I was pretty good at chemistry in high school, but I never touched a chemistry book or a science book ever again. And that was over 10 years ago, you know. And Grant he's really intelligent. Like, you know, we're not like, oh, we're intelligent people. We are. But, you know, it's one of those things that I'm like, okay, I know nothing about it, but I'm going to continue studying and reading as much as I can to help encourage her to follow this dream. And, you know, and that's something I would totally encourage anyone. Like, if she was into sports, I know I hate sports, but I would still encourage it, you know. And that to me is just so important, and that I love that we have things like this now, because nothing like this existed when I was little. I mean, okay, I love Barbie, I collect Barbie things, but I was never a girly girl, and I would have honestly done anything for stuff like this. I wish that someone had told me at a young age, like, just because you're a girl, you know, doesn't mean you can't be who you want to be. Like, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was little, and I would have loved for something like this to say, hey, there are female astronauts in the world. But, like, I was always like, oh, astronauts are only men, it's only boys who get to go into space, which is not true. But that's kind of how I was taught at school in the 90s, and it's ridiculous, you know. Even in high school, it was so, everything was so gendered, and it honestly nothing irks me more in life. You know, that I'm honestly, like, this is so amazing, because I love now that I actually have the means to kind of not just say all this to her, but I have physical stuff to give her and be like, look at all these amazing women before us and everything they've done to change the world, or even fictional women. Look how badass they are, you know. So yes, the next thing and the last thing I'm going to talk about is another book, and this is Girls Who Rocked the World. Sorry, it's a little bookmark. So we got this from Lighthouse Bookshop in Edinburgh. So this is by Michelle Rowan McCann and Emil Weldon. It's never too soon to make a difference. Be inspired and empowered by this collection of stories about incredible young women. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt. So this is obviously more of a novel, but it's still written in a way that she'd be able to read. So just opened up here, we have the Bronte sisters. So there's like illustration, different fonts, which makes it really fun. Oh, and then there's even little things after each chapter going, how will you rock the world? And there's interviews from girls. So this one's by a girl who's age 13. And then we have another one here by a girl who's age 12. Which is amazing, actually. I didn't realise that was in here. So we have more again, like as I said, we have illustrations, their names, and then in here, obviously, we have these kind of like fake artifacts, you know, little segments, so it's like a bit more fun to read. And then here we have this little bit that's like rock on, which is like a little extra segment here, which is absolutely amazing. I didn't actually realise this was in the book. And we have a bit here about Coco Chanel. So, you know, we've got fashion designers, we have prime ministers, queens, painters. Obviously we've got Frida Kahlo. We've got athletes, more athletes, more prime ministers, politicians and actresses, Anne Frank, so a diarist. We got the fighter pilots and night witches. So, I mean, obviously this is for a bit of like a kind of older child. I mean, this is the kind of book that we would probably sit down and read to Ivy, like a bedtime story. I mean, we'd probably read this to her as well, but obviously this is in a way that she could probably read it herself. And I absolutely adore that there's little interviews with real life girls who've obviously maybe read these stories and went, you know, this is what I want to do. And this is absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm a writer myself. I mean, I write primarily in horror. And I always try and put feminist messages in all my work. But we met with a panel of amazing feminist young adult writers, diverse writers as well, and it was so inspiring. And as a woman, I feel like, you know, we have to use our voice and our power wherever we can, whatever field we work in, you know, to keep being strong. And we have to teach our kids this, you know. I mean, if you hate feminism, if you disagree with what I say, then honestly, why are you even here and watching this video? Because it's something I talk about a lot on my channel, you know. And I'm not going to go into a rant about women who are not feminists, because it's not, this isn't the video for that, you know. And this has turned more into, here's all these cute presents I bought, to me being like, we must teach our children. But yes, I hope this helps any of you who are maybe thinking of wanting to buy. Because I mean, I definitely would say this is like definitely up to like kind of teenage years. This costs $6.99. You know, so I mean, obviously if you had like a 12-year-old, she could read this herself, or himself, or theirself. You know, or obviously this is a kind of book you could read. You know, Ivy Rose is 8. And this is the type of book we'd probably sit down and read to her as like a bedtime story. You know, and maybe a bit younger or even the same age. You know, we've got the Women in Science book. I think there is a Women in Space book as well. And as I said, Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls definitely is suitable from a younger age up to an older age. You know, I think these books are kind of timeless, that they're suitable for all ages. I mean, there is so many books out there. I know that when I was in an art gallery, there was a section of like Women Who Changed the World books, and there was separate little books. You know, there was one on Coco Chanel, there was one on Frida Kahlo, there was one on Anne Frank. So I mean, they were much more catered for younger children. You know, they were more illustration, and they were kind of like, you know, that kind of cardboard books. You know, so I mean, okay, this is just a couple books, some Lego and a pop figure. But like the message behind these is so strong. And I'm rambling again, as I've pointed that out for the millionth time. I need to stop pointing out that I ramble in my videos. But I hope that this video was somewhat helpful. Because, I mean, as I said, this is the kind of thing. So I'm looking at this receipt like, I didn't buy that book. That's the book my husband bought. You know, this is the kind of thing that holds such a near day place in my heart, that I can't wait to give these to Ivy Rose. I can't wait to read this book to her. I can't wait to teach her about these amazing women in space. She's learning about space right now at school, and it's great to be like, this is awesome, you're learning about planets, but here's the woman who helped us get to this point where you can learn all this stuff. So anyway, I hope this video was useful. I know it's more me just kind of sitting down and talking to you all about my opinions, but then that's kind of the whole point of doing vlogs, and it's just to sit and chat. But if you enjoyed this video, again, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below if you want me to do another video on the books that we already own and to get Ivy Rose's perspective, or maybe we could do that after Christmas when she's been given these gifts and she can kind of give her feedback and opinion on them. If that's something you would like to see, then please comment down below, because that's something I would happily film. I know Ivy Rose would happily film. But yeah, I hope this was helpful if you are in the market for feminist children's literature, or even just toys, you know. I mean, I hope this was somewhat helpful to you. And if it was, then yay. If it wasn't, then I hope you still enjoyed the video. But yes, if you'd like to see more from me where I don't just sit and rant at you all in all my videos, then please hit that subscribe button down below. I would love to have you here. And thank you so much for watching. And again, Merry Vlogmas. I hope you're all having a great December, whatever it is that you do at this time of year. And I hope you're all keeping well. And I shall hopefully see you all tomorrow with another video that will hopefully be less ranty and political. Well, no, I'm never going to apologise for being political. But anyway, I hope I haven't offended anybody with what I've had to say, and I'm going to end it now because I could go on forever. Anyway, I hope you all have a great one, and I will see you all tomorrow.